Have you ever wondered, gosh, what's going on with my gut? Is my gut actually even healthy? Today's your lucky day. We're going to peek inside the gut and figure out what's going on. And at the end of this, if you hang tight for a couple minutes, I'm going to offer you just that thing. All right? So if you're wondering, God, I've been through a lot. I've had some food poisonings in my life. I've had some bloating for a long time. Or I was really sick as a kid. I had a lot of digestive issues. I threw up a lot. Or I had food allergies when I was a kid, and I had a ton of things that I had to stay off of. Or I had a lot of rashes on my skin after I would eat certain foods. Or maybe you have certain food allergies, but you ate those foods for a while. Or you think, God, do I have certain food sensitivities? Is that why I'm got diarrhea and constipation, or both? This is an opportunity for you to find out finally what's going on, all right? Because guess what? You can do just that with an easy test to find that out, okay? We use a stool test. Yeah, you poop, you send it to the lab, you find out what the heck's going on with you. This stool test has a ton of information that we can get about what's going on with your health. You might ask yourself, do I have a parasite? This will test for it. I heard about this thing called candida. Do I have candida or fungal overgrowth in the gut? This will test for it. Wow, I've been hearing a lot about this thing called SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. SIBO. You might, but you're not going to know till you run this test. This looks for it. God, I had a friend of mine who actually got treated because they had this thing called Helicobacter pylori or H. pylori. You guessed it. We test for it. You got to know these things. If you have these things, you have to know, and the traditional medicine approach doesn't really do this very well. Occasionally you'll go to see a GI doc and they might run a stool test. The problem is they are hampered by the insurance industry, and their testing is menial. It is less than average even. How the kids would say, they call it meh. This is not a good test. This test that we use uses PCR technology, polymerase chain technology. What that really means is DNA testing. Your stool acts like a crime scene. And if the labs know what they're doing, they can look for the DNA of any culprits. So any of the things I mentioned earlier, as well as certain viruses, things like E. coli, salmonella. Some of you might be hearing about the thing recently called cyclospora, shigella, Eutheridia, Clostridium. There's a lot of different things, Giardia. These things can all be tested by this one test. And not just that. Other things this test looks for is the health of your microbiome. And I've talked about this on previous videos. Microbiome are your probiotics. The good bacteria, the ones we want, right? But we have been through a lot of treatment over the years, most of us, for antibiotics, various problems and infections, and those probiotics get turned down. And that can be a pretty sad microbiome, all right? We want to know, how does that look? This test for it. It also looks at the health of certain organs. How well is the stomach functioning? How well is the pancreas functioning? How well is the gallbladder functioning? How well is the liver functioning? These organs are part of the digestive process. Are they doing their job? It also looks at the immune system. And not only the immune system and how it actually is able to function and fight off infection, but also certain food sensitivities that can be high that you may not be aware of that are causing problems with your immune system. And finally, this test, there's more. It tests for and looks at things that lead to ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, what we look at as potentially autoimmune disorders in the gut. It also looks for leaky gut. You may have heard that term before. This tests for it. This is an amazing test. This is your opportunity to finally answer the question of what is going on with my health. Take advantage. Today, I am offering, there's a call that you can schedule free to start the process of getting the stool test run. Okay? Get signed up. Speak to one of my assistants. They want to make sure you're a good fit for what we do here in the office. But the stool test, that's what you want. We can do it for you. And it doesn't take you 6-month waiting list to see the GI doc. And it's a better test than they're going to run anyway. So sign up for that today. Again, at the bottom of this, you can see the link to that as well as in the description. There's more information in the description to this video. Take advantage. Get on our call schedule. Let's get this process started. And if you're wondering, I don't know, where are they located? Because I'm located in North Dakota. You don't have to worry about that. We see patients from all over the place. We can do telehealth visits, virtual appointments, no sweat. So get on our call. Get signed up. Let's find out what's going on with your health, and then you can finally take control and really feel like the questions are done. All I have now are answers, and fix your gut for good.